Hello, this is Feng. I will continue uploading my video tutorials about how to create a Julia package. So today I will going to demonstrate how to write a function, write use case for test case for it, and how to deploy the documentations on the GitHub pages. So first thing first, we write a function in our package. So here I already open an editor for it. We go to our repository. Under it, we have 4 directories. The first is star, GitHub, and docs, source, and test. So to write functions, we need to go to the source folder, and the package name .jl is the file that the package start with. So first we can write our first function here. So we can write a function for adding 2 numbers. Then we call it add numbers A and B, and also we close the function. So we simple add A and B and return it. So this is how we wrote function or simple functions in our package, and we can test it on the terminal. Here we can go to my pkgen.jl, and then we go to Julia, and we using pkg demo. This is probably not work because we haven't added into our package path. So what I am going to do is going to activate our virtual environment in this repository. Then it will automatically add the package as the package in the current path. So then we can use it. Okay, then we can do my pkg demo add numbers 2 and 3, which is equal to 5, and we can do it for 3 and 3, which is 6. So this is successfully we create our first function in the package. However, sometimes we don't want to manually to test it by ourselves. That's why we wrote test case for it. To write test cases for the function is very easy. So go to test folder. There is run test.jl, and they already wrote the prototype or how to say that, or already have some signature there. So you can just plug your test case here. So add test, then my pkg demo add numbers, add nums A and B, which is 1 and 2, and 1 and 3 equal to 4, and then we can add more. For example, 2 and 3, which is 5, and 3 and 4, which is 7, and then we can save it. Then we can test our test cases. To do so, we can go to package mode by the right square parentheses or right square brackets, and then we're going to test my pkg demo en. Then they will automatically run those tests, and you can see my pkg.jl will list out here because so far we only have 1 test script. And as your package going on, you can add more test scripts over there, and you can name them. They call it test sets. And in the test case, you can add many test cases. As here you can see we have 3, so in total there are 3, and we passed 3 of them. Okay, so this is the simplest way to write a function in the Julia package and how to test it. But usually this is not enough because Julia has very nice features for dispatch or function dispatch or something dispatch. The keyword dispatch means for the same functions, you can add different parameters or pass different arguments to it. For example, for add numbers, we can add 2 numbers, 3 numbers, or even more. So what we don't want to split 2 functions, which is one is to add 2 numbers, and another is add 3 numbers, which is pretty silly. So they kind of have a mechanisms to call dispatch, which you can have one name for all of the methods you want to add. Either you can have one for 2 arguments, another one for 3 arguments, and you can add even more for 4 and another 4 and 5 arguments, or you can have some options for unwrap those arrays or collections. So here I'm going to only demonstrate 2 methods for the same functions. And one thing I want to add in is Julia is not object-oriented programming, but in object-oriented programming, there's a similar term for it. It's polymorphisms. The same things, basically, you can have the same function name for different functions. So here we add another functions, which we can add more numbers like 1, 2, 3, and the same, we close the function and we add 1a plus b plus 3c. And since there are so many methods for the same functions, people sometimes would like to add the function signatures first and without any parameters. That indicates we have a function here, and the rest of the script can show which exactly methods they have it for these functions. We can do it the same, and we can test it at our test case. So this is for our first method, and this is for our second method, which is 8. And we can add 2 more. This is 9, and this is 7 again. Okay, then we can go ahead and test our function. And yes, we passed it for all of the 6 test cases. Then I'm going to demonstrate how to write docs and deploy docs on the GitHub pages. So a package we are going to use is called Julia Documenter. This package is a document generator for Julia, and it's very easy to use. So first things first, we need to add documents in our scripts. So they have a syntax for it, but the most simple syntax I can demonstrate is to put the function signature at first. Not this one, I'm going to do with that one later. I can put here. So you put a tab over there, but with 4 sides of 4. And you put the signatures there, and then you go to a new line and put add 2 numbers. Then the same for another method. Then also copy the function signature over there. then add three numbers. Then we can go ahead and write our in general description for the entire function, which is add numbers together. So this is how the simplest way to add a function signatures, add function documents. But if you go to the documents of the documenter package, they have more general guides for how to write a document for documentations. Also, another recommend ways to know how to write documentations for your functions. Actually, go to the code of the script of other functions. For example, I can go to the documenter. And I can go to their not www. Okay, so I can find any scripts in the source code. For example, I go to doc checks. Then you can see they already wrote the documents for it for these functions. And here is the variable for the function signatures, and this is for the descriptions and another descriptions. So this is a good way to know how to write documents. Then after we had our documents before the functions, we have to build it, or we need to compile it. I don't know whether they call it compile, but we have to use another script in the document to create the actually HTMLs for that. So to do so, we need to first add document in our package or in the environment. Then we are going to call a script already wrote by the template. So if you go to folder docs, then you open up make.jl. This is the major script for make the documentations. So far everything is good, so you don't need to change anything. The only thing you are going to pay attention on is the pages, which you majorly edit for how to organize your documentations. And the pages are in the source folder of the docs. So it's under the package, under the docs, then under the source. So here we are going to call this script. So docs.make.jl. They will automatically run this script and wrote our HTML pages for it. And so far there's a warning about they cannot deploy it because we are actually not on the server. So just ignore this warning, and we can manually open it and check it with our local browser. So to do so, you go to the source folder, the package folder, go to the source docs, go to build, then the index HTML. So this is the HTML you had for the documentation. So far we don't see any functions listed there. It could probably we haven't restarted our repo, so the function documents we wrote haven't saved it, but it's actually saved it, but haven't loaded into the repo. So we need to reload it by exiting Julia repo and reopen it and locate into the environment by activate it and then make the docs again. They right now it show it works. So we will refresh it. Okay, you see we have one function, two methods. One is for add three numbers, another one is to add two numbers. So now we can build the docs. They are good. So the next step for the package is to deploy these documentations on the GitHub. So one important thing you need to do is if you go to the documenter.jl and go to the menu section, scroll down a little bit, add hosting documentation. Then you have all of the documentation for how to deploy the documentation. So if you have very little experience like I had before, so I try a lot and finally find a way to do so. So what I can tell you is for myself, the most important thing is you generate SS key pairs, one public key and one private key, and you need to post both of the keys on the GitHub. So let me plus a little bit and generate my keys and post it on the GitHub. Okay, I'm back. I already create the paired keys over there. So after you had your public keys or public key, you can add it in the setting panel and you scroll down at deploy keys. Then you add your public key here. You can call whatever you want to call it. Another things you go to secrets. Then here you put your private keys over there. And most importantly, you have to put documenter underscore key because this name has to match the script you put it or the package templates wrote it for you at workflows ci.yum. So here documenter underscore key. So this matters. After you're doing so, you can go to the get kraken and commit all of the scripts we wrote it, and you can double check after you added them. Then you should add first function, commit the package and push it. After you had successfully pushed, you can go to the website, go to the package, and you can see there's a right yellow dot over here. That means the scripts for the CI are running. After it is done, then you will see your docs are deployed, but so far it's not there. And another thing is the stable docs may not be there because you haven't tagged anything. So to tag or to tag a version in your package, you need to create a new release. At here, I don't know whether there's another options to doing so, but you can add a tag here. Then they will trigger another script also write dots to it. So you can put any, I don't know whether you can put anything here, but normally you just put the version number here, also the description about this version, and you publish it. After you publish it, you go to the actions, where there's the scripts for it. You can see there's a master branch. They have some test to test it, CI to test it, and also 0.1.0. They also have the same uh, the same scripts need to test it. After those two things are done, you will be able to go to your docs here or here. Okay, so this is today. The next, I don't know, but we will see in the next videos.